Hello, this is Marc Dupont with Marc Dupont Ministries, and I'd like to take a few minutes of your time and speak to you about Visit Ministries and establishing a youth venture outreach to teenagers at risk. Some 40 years ago or more, James Dobson made an incredibly astute observation when he said that the greatest demonic warfare coming against society today is the growing attack against marriage. Since the 1960s, the rate of divorce has grown significantly across the board throughout the Western world. As part and parcel of that, the number of children either born out of wedlock and or raised in a troubled family has also dramatically increased. God's plan has always been for a child to grow up deriving two essential core internal values. One is a sense of significance in who they are, and secondly, a sense of security as they face the challenges of life. It takes healthy parents to instill both of these values within the soul of a child so they might grow up practicing healthy values and lifestyles. We can track the parallel breakdown of marriages with the radical increase of teens involved in substance abuse, crime, and other destructive behavioral patterns due to depression, loneliness, and hurting self-images. The Youth Venture Ministries, which was pioneered by Foothills Christian Church in El Cajon, California, has literally seen thousands of teenagers from hurting, dysfunctional, broken families come to Christ and come into healing over the last 25 years. And one of the most unique things about youth ventures is that they are rather simple to duplicate and modify according to the local church's resources and local culture. For example, youth ventures have been highly successfully imported to places such as Kenya and Cuba, which obviously have very different cultures compared to Southern California. Jeremy Miller, who heads up Visit Ministries, was Foothills Christian Church's pastor leading the Youth Venture Ministries for over a decade. He has not only been highly involved in every facet of youth ventures, but he is very knowledgeable about what it takes to both start and successfully run one. Last year, Jeremy stepped down from leading that ministry at Foothills and established Visit Ministries. The sole purpose of Visit Ministries is to help encourage and train other churches and ministries in replicating youth ventures in their own locale and culture. I can wholeheartedly recommend Jeremy to you. Like the Psalms say of David, who led Israel by the integrity of his heart and the skill of his hands, so has Jeremy operated in his leadership roles with overseeing youth venture ministries. Jeremy's goal now is to serve local churches and ministries by helping to understand the ins and outs of what it takes to establish and run a youth venture center. As part of that, he is uniquely able to help take leaders through the steps and help equip local volunteers in how to relate and serve teens who are possibly coming from very different and troubled situations. Lastly, I would really love to encourage you with two thoughts. First, Jesus' words of "suffer the children to come to me." While it can be daunting to think of how to successfully relate and minister to teens coming from distinctly non-church cultures, it is one of the primary burdens today God would have the church take up. As it goes with our youth, so it will go with our nation. Secondly, considering that, I would like to say that it is most likely a far more doable goal of establishing a youth venture than you might think. So if finding concrete help and reaching out to the hurting teens of your community is of interest, I would strongly encourage you to contact Jeremy and possibly begin the process just by having a chat. You will find Jeremy both helpful and encouraging no matter where you might be at when it comes to ministering to teens. As well, Jeremy would be glad to put some of the books and materials concerning Foothills Christian Church's experience with youth ventures into your hands. Thanks for your time, and God bless you.